I put on the set at 13. Whatever. How old you be in the 8th grade? I was 13. And I got put on Playboy. I was hanging with Chris from Marvin. That was my nigga. We was about to fight because he thought I was from Gear. Because I stayed on the line. I stayed on Hauser and Adams. The line is, in my mind, was Adams. Adams was the line, not the bridge, not the freeway. Adams was the line. But you had to cross Adams, because I remember we chase niggas or whatever, but we never crossed Adams, because Adams is like going up in Gearhood. So anyway, but I hung out with the Playboys. I went and caught the bus way across town to fucking to motherfucking off La Cienega. I used to go to Ward's Mall and shit. And behind him, my boy stayed on Holt. Reginald stayed on Holt. And I used to go by his house. And he used to hang with Shark, Pirate, and Clay. It's back in 1983 or some shit. Way back then. So I was hanging with them, and then when I would go through the hood, you know, I admired them niggas. I didn't want to be from Marvin, because Marvin felt like it was too local. I lived in Marvin Hood, and my dad was a mechanic. He knew all them niggas back there, and I couldn't be gangbanging right around my house. So I went and hung out in Playboy Hood. So I was hanging with them niggas, and then I got put on the set. But when the way I got put on the set, I was Chris thought I was from Gear, and I was a wannabe. I was claiming. Young nigga just throwing a Playboy and shit. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't know. He knew I was banging because I had a fight with him. Me and him had a fight in the 6th grade at Marvin. Nobody would fight that nigga, but I had a fight with his ass. And he knew I was, and I hang with a dude named Ronnie. Ronnie was my nigga. Ronnie was, he stayed in Gear Hood. He was Gear, but that was my dude. But I wasn't about that gangbanging shit. I was banging, but I wasn't in a gang. It was just wannabe shit, and I was claiming Playboy. Playboy sound cool. That was a cool shit, and it was away from the house, and I was going to pasture. It was Playboy. So anyway, he was like, who got banging Marvin? He's like, Marvin, nigga, this is Marvin, nigga. And I'm like, nigga, this Playboy, nigga, PB motherfucking G, cuz. And he's like, nigga, you ain't for no fucking Playboy, nigga, this PBG, cuz. And I opened my book, and I had the brick, you know, you write them big old bricks, PBG. Nigga, it's PBG. He said, man, you ain't from PBG. I wasn't. I was a wannabe. I was just claiming that shit and banging that shit, and I was hanging with them niggas, but I wasn't on the set. He said, nigga, if you want to be from PBG, why don't you just get put on? And then from that day, we went from about to fight, because he moved all the way behind me. We was about to fight. When we got off the bus, because we was riding the bus, we was going to, what was that? At Hale Junior High? We was about to fight. And then we went from going about to fight to like chilling, and they was trying to fill me out like, okay, cuz, all right, Playboy. So then me and him started hanging. And we started hanging and shit. And he was like, oh, okay, shit, all right, yeah, cuz. And my niggas was Marvins and Playboys and shit. And he's like, okay, you ain't from girl gang, schoolyard and all that. But his brother was from schoolyard. But anyway, so we had then we started going to the hood. He bought me by G-Stone from Marvin. And I'm like, and G-Stone said, man, I kill this little nigga, man. No. I'm like, I'm not trying to be from Marvin. I want to get on Playboy, PB motherfucking G, cuz that's what I'm trying to be. Playboy. It just seemed like a cool ass gang. Playboy gangster. So we started going to Playboy Hood. We was hanging up there on Garth Corning and shit. And motherfucking as a girl, a chick on Cadillac back there and shit. And we was just I was just hanging in the hood. Hanging with them niggas, and then we went and then he hollered at Droopy like, man, let's do this. So I was like, fuck it, let's do it. And Droopy was a crazy redhead looking dude. That dude was He looked like a fire. It was everything was red. His eyes was red. His hair was red. His skin was red. He just looked like a motherfucking a big old nigga. I'm 13 years old, and when it started, okay, boom, I'm punching him, boom, boom, boom. He was just taking my hits, boom, boom. Then he started hitting back, blah, blah. Like, god damn, this nigga hitting for real. So I'm hitting, I'm fighting Droopy. And then Dusty, I think, jumped in and came from the side. Blah! Like, what the fuck? Now I'm fighting two niggas and shit. And then they threw cocaine ass in there. Hit me in the back of my head. Blah! I'm like, what the fuck, nigga? Now I'm just fighting all these niggas. I lost count after 3. But it felt like I was fighting the whole goddamn hood. Everybody was fighting. But I wouldn't stop. And I was taking hits and giving hits, hitting everything and everybody around me. And that's what they look for. They want to make sure you ain't no coward ass bitch nigga that you ain't gonna run. You can take a punch, give a punch, and fucking go through the process. And I went through the fucking process. And then I got weak and I was dizzy. I was fucking 13. And then they threw me on the hood of a car and then they started beating the fuck out of me. And then Bent Nose jumped on top of me and saved me. Bent Nose like, stole him out, cuz y'all gonna kill him. Y'all gonna kill him. I was a skinny 13-year-old kid. And they pulled me off the hood and Droopy gave me a hug. He's like, you are, who set you from, cuz? Playboy said, what nigga? Playboy, PB motherfucker G, cuz. I had to still fucking who bang to the top. And I was like, I was fucked up. And then he's hugging me and it's like, yeah, one thing though, cuz. Your face, you ain't got no bruises. And I looked up at the same time he came down with that pow driver, damn near broke my goddamn eye socket and blew my head up. Blue! Now he knocked me out. He don't know he knocked me out. I didn't know I was knocked out. I dropped down to one knee. I didn't like pass out and start snoring. I just dropped down to one knee. I was fucking out. I dropped down to one knee. And then they was like, get up, nigga. Get up, cuz. Get up, cuz. I didn't hear nothing. I was just sitting there, sleeping. And then he kicked me. He kicked me over. And when he kicked me over, he basically woke my ass up. Like, get up, nigga. When he kicked me, that woke me up. Because Chris told me later, he was like, yeah, cuz he wouldn't have kicked you. He kicked you because you didn't get up. Why you didn't get up? I'm like, nigga, I was knocked out. If he hit me, I was blacked out. I didn't know that why I didn't hear nothing. I was knocked. Was I snoring? You was still sitting up. You dropped down on one knee. You didn't pass out. You was just sitting there on one knee, just sitting there, and you didn't get up. that's my knockout mode, bro. I don't know. And then when I got up, I saw tunnel vision. All I could see is through the middle, and everything else was crystallized all around me. I was fucked up. But what I do know is that I couldn't wait to go to school the next day and show everybody I got put on. And I'm glad he gave me that fucking big ass swole my head. That shit was, I felt tight. I felt fucking gangster, nigga. I'm PBG gang, yeah. I felt fucking like I done went through the training, like I went through fucking Marine Corps boot camp and shit. And so I had my Levi's crease 501s crease. You know what I'm saying? I had my blue rag staple PBG on that bitch to hang out my back pocket. I had my Pumas, my suede Pumas clean. I had my laces right, you know what I'm saying? Had my Pendleton ready, you know what I'm saying? Golf hat, my third to the side. Before I was about to go G'd up, walking in school with my face fucked up. PBG, nigga, to show everybody. And Chris couldn't wait for me to come to school. He was gonna be broke down too. Nigga, it was gonna be PBG and Marvin chilling, you know what I'm saying? That was, but my little brother ratted me out. My mama took me to the hospital. Yeah, I was laying in my bed just like, fucked up. And my nosy ass little brother looked in my face, Mama! And went screaming to my mama. My mama came, what's going on? He came in and saw my ass all busted up. And so she took me to the hospital. And probably a good thing she did. I was bleeding out my kidneys and shit. I was pissing blood and shit. You couldn't see the blood, but they said I had blood in my urine, and my body I've been through some shit, you know what I'm saying? And I had a fractured fucking eye socket. I was fucked up. 13 years old. I probably went to school who banging and died. I don't know, man. Who knows? But I was PBG though. You know what I'm saying? So and I couldn't go to school the next day to show it off. And my mom didn't let me go back to school. You know what I mean? But I still was going back to school. Then after I finally started going back to school, I was hanging, and then me and Chris would go down to the on Playboy Hood, and he said Dusty wanted me to be Lil Dusty, cause I was saying Diamond D, but you know he had Diamond from Marvin, and Diamond was kind of a you know, but I'm Diamond D, nigga. But so Dusty was like wanted me to be Lil Dusty, but even though I was 13, 14 years old, I ain't want to be little nobody. I want to be me, Diamond D from PB motherfucking G. That's all I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And it was my thing. So, and then I got kicked out of this school, that school. But I remember going up to across from Fairfax High. They had a arcade, buku Playboys, all kind of Playboys was up at Fairfax. Remember Ghost, big old light skinned nigga. He was like Super Double OG to me. I remember, and I was hanging with these niggas, and Scooby, oh musclehead ass motherfucker. That dude was raggedy. That nigga, he jacked me out my fucking fucking Pumas. He had some suede Pumas, and he said, "Man, what size shoe you wear?" And I should have known. I was green as fuck. I didn't know that they could ask you your shoe size. You need to punch that bitch in the mouth. Because my shoe size ain't got shit to do with you, nigga. A nigga asked me my shoe size today, I'm going to punch that bitch in the mouth. What size shoe you wear? Oh, I wear a bow, bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be that. Because I remember when I was getting out of jail in New Orleans, I had these boots. And it was like, niggas asking me, man, what size them boots here? I looked at them, I said, nigga, and when I stomped in the fucking side of your head, we was in a trailer, we was on a bus, the van about to leave, we was getting out of jail. And I ain't want to he ain't had no shoes on, and so he was looking at getting my shoes, but I ain't want to stop my getting out, so I didn't stomp him in his fucking face. He said, "What size shoe you wear?" I'm like, "Oh shit, nigga, really? No? Oh, okay. When I put the print on the side of your face, you gonna see what size it is, cuz." So it was two of them. They was getting out together, but they didn't. They wanted to fucking jack me, but they didn't. They did not. Yeah, they didn't. But anyway, yeah. So that's the story of how I got put on the set and how I was from PBG, and all the people's in there involved is yeah, it's real. I mean, I ain't making that shit up, and I'm not trying to prove nothing, and it's not. But as I was 13 years old, that don't have shit to do with today. 53, that's 40, 30 years ago. How many years ago is that? 40, 54, 40 years ago. So I got put on the set 40 years ago. Am I gangbanging today? Fuck no, nigga, what? Ain't no gangbanging activity going on in this. Man, shit. Even that shit when I was fucking around in the 90s, fucking knowing that slanging shit, man, fuck all that. I ain't got no more time for nobody else to fucking, to get at them people. No time. All I do is work and chill, and you see me to myself. That's all I do, is work and chill. That's all I do, work and chill, and work and chill. And I be on Facebook, I'm at the fucking car wash. This shit is jam-packed today. Oh, I'm in my wife's Lexus. So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know I totaled my truck, and I had that minivan sitting out there, Pacifica, and this right here, but all I'm gonna do, and I'm not looking to buy another truck. I'm about to buy a motorcycle, nigga. I'm about to buy a motorcycle. That's what I'm trying to get me, a motorcycle. But I want a big, nice one. The one that you could just chill on. I don't want no dirt bike. Like, no. I want a big ass, big, nice. Y'all gonna see. I'm about to get this motorcycle, and I'm gonna be riding my big ass motorcycle, big one, a big like a 1300 or something big. I don't know, because I was about to get a 1300 back in the day when I had my Mustang. It was like green, and I was gonna get a motorcycle the same color. But then I totaled out my fucking Mustang. I done totaled 5 fucking cars. That's a goddamn shame. Oh, 6. I just totaled my truck last year. So, anyway. Let me see, is there anything else I missed?